All right, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Yakara. About to bring another video right here. But before I do, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son in Paleo Hebrew. And say, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakakadash. All right. Also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS that roll well. Double honors to Elder Harawan of the Jacksonville LIONZ Den camp. And say shalom, shalom to all the Akim that's out there pushing the truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akwathium and Ban scattered throughout the four corners of this planet. All right. And I seen this clip. I guess you would say a clip or compilation of photos, not really a collage, but the GMS North Carolina 777 camp or the ICAM out of that camp put this out. And I followed the page. So I guess it was live at one point. It said 6 hours ago. And so I was just scrolling through YouTube, viewing different brothers' videos and posts, and I come across this one right here. And these right here always strike me because of just the nonsense, man. The nonsense of our people, which these are just two-bit so-called Negroes, these aren't the elect of our people, in most cases, right? But they're still serving a purpose. But it just always strikes me as the nonsense of our people, even, being in this truth, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that I'm not one of these bug outs, but even being in the truth and understanding the scriptures, it still strikes me from time to time, the level of ignorance, discord, and confusion that that the Israelites seem to cause on just at such a scale even today, 2024. But it shouldn't necessarily strike me though, because being in the truth and understanding what the scriptures have said, these things are going to multiply. We're going to see more and more of these accounts. It's not going to be a situation where these things go down. Like, we'll see less and less of this sort of violence and nonsense. No, we're going to see more of this, much more. And of course now, since, the internet is just a prevalent force, it's not going anywhere. We're going to see all this. It's going to play out on the world stage, day in and day out, multiple times a day. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a never-ending type of thing where we see all this stuff happening, man. So this was 1 out of 5. So it says right here, a Detroit man shoots, man, pulls out the pow. You know what I'm saying? A Chipotle employee in the knee, all right, literally busting the cap. You know what I'm saying? In this particular case, right, the kneecaps, for skimping him on his guacamole portion. Okay, for skimping him on his guacamole portion. Man wanted his guac. Man wanted his guac. And this, this is part of this is spiritual. I mean, this is E-Man's, payback to a degree, because we know who works at Chipotle most times. It's E-Man, right? The Idumean, and got his cap busted, man. You know, so it's spiritual in some sense, but this is just the Negro, man, is out here wilding right now. It's just that's the spirit that the Most High is putting on a lot of these so-called Negroes, and Latinos, the so-called Native Americans. Okay, definitely on the so-called Latino, that spirit to just rebel against this wicked system. So move over to the second picture that I can post it. Atlanta ranks 3rd in new HIV infections nationwide. And that was actually just I was doing some training where I was talking about the spread of infectious diseases and so on and so forth, and hepatitis comes up and HIV always comes up. It's curious how many people still don't know what HIV means. All right, human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, HIV. A lot of people don't know what that means. A lot of people don't know what the H, the I, and the V stand for. I was born in '83, and coming up in that time, one of the things that made it clear was how the media talked about Magic Johnson and his battle with HIV/AIDS. Okay, which that's another video for another day. But it was so broadly cast. It was so broadly cast that it was a household name, HIV. You know what I'm saying? And I also have family members that dealt with it because they were in that wicked lifestyle, okay, of being part of the Rainbow Coalition. Actually, it ended up taking his life. Okay. But yeah, so it was a household name, that particular infectious disease, if you come up in the 80s and early 90s, because you heard it so much on certain news and media outlets. Okay. But anyway, Atlanta here in, 2024, 3rd in the nation as far as new cases go. And you know who's in Atlanta. All right. Okay, we know who's in Atlanta, man. I don't even like calling it the Rainbow Coalition because we know what the rainbow truly stands for. Okay. So we're gonna call them the Jolly Rancher, the Jolly Rancher Squad or something like that, man. The happy boys and girls. That's Atlanta. That's Atlanta through and through. I got family that's down there. I got family that just left there that is or was part of that Jolly Rancher, part of the Jolly Rancher team, and now says that he's not going that route anymore. Because there are some heavy spirits down there that he wasn't even ready for. You know what I'm saying? Hey, once you part of that team, that's a hard thing to pull away from. Okay? No pun intended, man. All right? No pun intended on that, but it's hard to get away from that. I've seen people go through it and try to get away from it, and it just keeps on pulling them back. I praise the Heavenly Father, same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai, that I was never, like use the term swallowed up into that nonsense, man. Okay, because it's a heavy thing to come out of. But anyway, yeah. So Atlanta taking massive L's on that front, and then so we move it to the next one. It says a shooting at a family party now which, you know, you would assume that maybe it was another family member. But I think I read where it says people shooters stormed a family gathering in Chicago. That's them pull-up boys, you know. That's them pull-up boys. They know something going down. They could know somebody at the gathering. They might not, but they know that the gathering is happening at the very least. So they pull up. You know what I'm saying? But they probably knew somebody. They probably knew somebody at this, you know, that would be at the location. Might have had some beef, you know, some unsettled or unfinished business, and yeah, they pulled up. And so what happened? It says it was a pow at a family party, and it deleted an 8-year-old girl and injured 10 others, including a toddler. All right. Click on it, but can't really click on it. But it says an 8-year-old is deleted. 10 other people were injured after some pow cats stormed a family gathering in Chicago on Saturday. Man, Chicago off the chain. As usual, Chicago off the chain. And who are the perpetrators? You know, Jake. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. But Jake, all right? So-called Negro. Prevalent in Chicago, and other parts of Illinois, but definitely Chicago. And that's who, you know, we can assume is behind this. You know, let's just be straight up, man. Let's just be straight up. Number 4, you know, just the nonsense, the level of nonsense here in Babylon, right? In 2024, it's not going to get, it's not weakening. Okay? The spirit is not lacking. Okay? That's on these people to do such mischief. Okay? Things are heating up. These people are behaving recklessly out here, man. That's why the scriptures talk about knowledge and wisdom being the stability. That's the only stability that's going to be out here. Okay? That knowledge and wisdom that's perpetuated by the hopeful elect, men of the Lord, okay? That's talked about week in, week out, you know, day in, day out, whether it be over these interwebs or out on the highways and byways, man. Okay, that knowledge and wisdom is the only stability that's going to be found in these times, because we can see it's just getting reckless out here. Okay, you got a fake dentist right here. Before I talk about this though, you also got fake, quote unquote, doctors. Okay, if you can call them that, practicing, and they ain't licensed, but they out here opening practices up. You know, having grand openings. You got cats out here giving these injections of, who knows what for these BBLs, okay? All right? And that's the Most High Yahweh passing judgment on a lot of these Jake women out here, okay, Eve. All right, whether it be the so-called Negro or so-called Latino that's getting them, okay? So you got fakery, pure fakery happening amongst Jake almost on a weekly basis now. And it's not just Jake. You got the heathen, pulling that trickery as well. But that's what they're known for, man. But among Jake, you know, on such a scale as it's happening, you know, not really in the past, but that's just the times that we're in. So you got a fake dentist here accused of giving patients fake braces. I don't even know how you give somebody fake braces, man. What, you make them in your garage or something like that? You like, you know, welded some metal together or something and you know, called it braces, start slapping it on people's teeth and gums. I really don't understand that, but it uses the term fake braces anyway, and leaving them with teeth falling out. Says an unlicensed dentist in Illinois. There we go, Illinois again. That's why I said Jake is prevalent in Chicago, but they're spread out throughout Illinois. This might be Chicago, but it might be some outlying cities or something, right? It says reportedly gave patients fake braces and left them with decaying teeth. Okay. Monica Davis, it put her on blast. All right. That's her face right there anyway. So, you know, a lot of people know her. She's probably on FB. Okay. And TikTok. She probably posted. Well, look, we see a picture of her right there. So we know somebody took a picture of her. She probably took a picture of herself performing this operation here. It says Monica Davis. She's trying to live that life. She's trying to live that life, man. She ain't paid a cost to be the boss, man. She didn't go through those 6 to 8 years to practice as a an OD? Yeah. You know, to practice that as a orthodontist, okay? All right, as a dentist. She didn't pay that cost, man, but she trying to play the boss. And they caught up with her. It says Monica Davis had already been charged with operating without a license in Las Vegas. Hey, but what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So them charges, I guess they just didn't follow her. You know what I'm saying? It just stayed right there where it was at. And she was able to, she probably opened up a practice. It says, and has now been accused of practicing, you know, it got cut off, but so she might have opened the practice, you know, for all we know. I mean, probably, you know, you probably read into this story a little bit more. But Monica Davis, man. So, you know, again, just the tomfoolery to think that this would not catch up with you. But honestly, I think the spirit is on Jake right now, and they're just out here doing this, man. You know, the Most High just put it on them, a spirit on them to do it. They know that they're going to get caught eventually, but they just continue to do it. Don't even know why. Can't even figure out, why am I doing this? They probably stay up at night. Why am I doing this? I know it's going to catch up to me. But they got to, because the spirit's on them, you know? And that's part of the judgment. All right, this one right here, this is heathen. You know, from what it looks like, it could be Jake. You know, you don't know based solely off of complexion, man. But you know, looks like a heathen. You know, possibly, you know, part of the northern tribe. You know, from down there in South America or something like that. But anyway, it says that what does it say? A woman paid $165K to extend her legs by 5.5 inches, but has been left with chronic condition after surgery. You know, just foolishness, man. Foolishness. You know, I mean, why would somebody do that? It says a model and reality TV star. You know, people are living in this matrix, man, and have just been completely, you know, taken by the illusion. Completely taken by the illusion. I remember, again, growing up in the early to mid 90s and seeing shows like Real World come out, you know, and what was it? It was another one too. It came out a considerable amount of time later. Oh, Jersey Shore, and then shows like the Kardashians and things like that. And just thinking to myself, man, this makes for some mediocre entertainment. All right, mediocre at best, man, because nobody can be taking this stuff seriously. I mean, people, listen, yes, people live in communal situations. Okay, yes, it can get a little, crazy sometimes. Uh, maybe even uncomfortable at times, but people aren't living like this day in, day out, man. Plus you got the cameras rolling and everything. It's fake. It's fake to the umpteenth degree. So this is not going to catch on as a real way that people operate. It never will, Therefore, it only makes for mediocre entertainment, because it's called real world and it's not based on reality at all, and it'll never catch on. People aren't gonna look, man. Listen, 2024, people reality stars. They really think that the things that they see rolling on the camera on these mega production TV broadcasts, man, that programming, they try to live that life. You got people trying to be doctors, you got people trying to be dentists, you got people trying to be reality stars like they see on television. You're not Doogie Howser, man. You're not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you're not Kim Kardashian, man. What do you think? You're the 6 foot legs of the Kardashian line or something? And people are just bugged out, man. Utterly and completely. No hope for themselves, no hope for Babylon, which there is no hope for Babylon. And so they just off their rocker. But anyway, I'm not going to continue without bringing out some scriptures. So with that said, let me back it up to Deuteronomy. This is King James Version of these scripts. And so you got Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. If we go to that, and this is what it says. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate. Now it's talking about guacamole man. Okay? The guac brother. The guac op. Okay? The guacamole man. Very, very tender. Okay? You got a lot of men. All right. Israelite men, unprofessed, all right, Jakes that, grew up in not such, not the best circumstances, man. And so by the time they're of a certain age, and they their conditions weren't good. The home might not have been the best. School didn't care about them. The food they were eating probably was, a lot of trash. Didn't have anybody in their corner. Probably didn't have a father. It's just Jake, man. Just has always had that struggle, man, in the communities. So you got a lot of tender brothers, that are just wayward and confused. Because as a man in this society, or in any society, really, there are things that are expected of you. And if you don't live up to those standards, even in the slightest bit, it can have a severe impact on your mental status. And this guy right here, he's probably just out there, man, flapping, like a fish out of water. No direction, popping cats over guac. That's an unstable person. Probably drugs have been added to the mix at some point, which has a latent effect. You might not have been high at the time, but certain drugs have a latent effect. to where it just messes up your mind so much, you'll never be completely wrapped tight again, you know. Might have been what's going on with this cat, man. Most High allows that heavy spirit to get on you, you know, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for whoever crossed paths, you know. Cat, you know, he probably said, hey, that ain't enough guac. That ain't enough guac on my burrito. You know, employee, whatever, might have been flippant. All right, I look up that word flippant. All right, basically just brushed them off. You know, brushed off a Jake like they normally do, and ended up paying with his kneecaps. You know, but you got tender Jakes out here, very delicate. I shall be evil toward his brother. So this wasn't against his brother, at least not from what I could tell. It looked like it was against the heathen. And toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children. But that happens all the time, though. You know, again, if you never saw certain situations growing up, you're not going to know how to then project that